We've all been there. You sit down at a local coffee shop, open your laptop, and just before you connect to the free Wi-Fi, a little voice in your head, or an ad for a cybersecurity sponsor, screams, "Don't do it without a VPN." For over a decade, the rule was absolute. Public Wi-Fi is a digital minefield, and a virtual private network, VPN, is your only shield. But lately, the narrative has shifted. A growing number of security professionals are saying that in 2026, VPNs are mostly unnecessary for the average user on public networks. They point to the fact that almost all of our web traffic is already encrypted. At the same time, other experts insist that turning off your VPN is an invitation to identity theft. So what's the truth? Should you still use a VPN on public Wi-Fi, or is it a relic of a bygone digital era? In this video, we're going to dissect this existential security question and reveal why both sides of the debate might be missing the real danger. For more technical details, please use the links in the description to access our comprehensive article on this topic. To understand why everyone used to tell you to use a VPN, we have to travel back to late 2010. A developer named Eric Butler released a simple Firefox extension called Firesheep. It was a proof-of-concept tool designed to show just how broken web security was at the time. If you ran Firesheep on a public Wi-Fi network, it would sniff the unencrypted airwaves, automatically capture session cookies, and display the photos of everyone on the network logged into Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, or Yelp. With a single click, you could sidejack their session and instantly log in as them, no passwords required. Firesheep demonstrated a critical systemic vulnerability. Major web applications encrypted only the initial login sequence, transmitting subsequent authentication cookies in plaintext over unsecured HTTP. At that time, public Wi-Fi really was a digital Wild West. Anyone with a basic laptop could sit in the corner of a coffee shop and read your emails, steal your sessions, and spy on your traffic in real time. The solution? A VPN, which wrapped all of your network traffic in an encrypted tunnel before it ever touched the local airwaves. Fast forward to 2026, the web looks entirely different. Between 2015 and 2020, the tech industry executed a massive, highly successful push toward universal encryption. The percentage of encrypted page loads in Google Chrome skyrocketed from roughly 40% to over 95%. Today, browsers actively warn you or block connections entirely if a site isn't using HTTPS. Modern standards like HSDS, HTTP Strict Transport Security, prevent bad actors from forcing your connection to downgrade to unencrypted HTTP. So, if 95% of your traffic is encrypted via HTTPS, your data is safe, right? Well, not entirely. While the payload of your data, your passwords, messages, and bank details, is securely encrypted, the metadata, the information about your data, is still flying around in plain text. There are two major metadata leaks that happen every time you load a website. Plaintext DNS queries. Before your browser can connect to a website, it has to look up its IP address. By default, these queries are routed through the local Wi-Fi router in unencrypted plaintext. The operator of that public Wi-Fi knows every single domain you are trying to visit. Plaintext SNI, server name indication. When your browser initiates an encrypted connection, it has to tell the hosting server which specific website it wants to see. This handshake happens before the encryption is established. This means the destination hostname is transmitted in the open. While newer protocols like Encrypted Client Hello, ECH, and DNS over HTTPS, DOH, are designed to patch these leaks, they are still not universally adopted. As of 2026, client-side support is highly fragmented, and many standalone servers struggle to implement them correctly. Without a VPN, the network operator can still build a highly detailed profile of your web activity. This brings us to the real value of a modern VPN. It isn't just about protecting your browser window, It's about protecting everything else running on your machine. Even if you are hypervigilant and only visit secure HTTPS websites, your device is constantly talking in the background. Operating system telemetry, third-party software updaters, mobile apps, and smart device utilities often transmit data using unencrypted HTTP or poorly implemented custom protocols. This unencrypted telemetry can leak hardware configurations, local file paths, diagnostic details, and geographic location data to any passive listener on the network. Furthermore, public Wi-Fi networks in hotels and airports are frequently managed by third-party advertising companies. These entities actively log your destination IP addresses, connection durations, and unencrypted SNI values to build digital profiles that they legally compile and sell to advertising brokers. A reputable VPN operates at layer 3 of the network stack. It captures all outbound traffic from your device, converting even plaintext background noise into secure, encrypted payloads before they are broadcast over the air. It completely blinds the local gateway to your activity. There is an even deeper level of risk: active local network manipulation. Attackers aren't just passively listening anymore. They are actively exploiting trust assumptions built into your device's operating system. The WPA3 transition mode. You might think connecting to a secured public Wi-Fi network with a password protects you. Even with the newer WPA3 standard, most networks run in a backward-compatible transition mode, so older devices can still connect. An attacker can use a tool like a Wi-Fi pineapple to broadcast a fake clone of the network, an evil twin, using the older WPA2 standard. Because transition mode doesn't cryptographically bind the connection, your device will seamlessly associate with the attacker's stronger signal. Once connected, they can capture your handshake frames to crack the network password offline. Multicast name resolution poisoning. When your operating system connects to a network, it tries to find local resources like printers or shared folders. If a DNS query fails or you make a typo, systems like Windows fall back to legacy broadcast protocols like LLMNR and NetBIOS. An attacker on the same Wi-Fi running a tool called Responder can hear your device asking, "Hey, where is this resource?" and instantly reply, "That's me, send me your login credentials." Your operating system will automatically attempt to authenticate, handing the attacker your cryptographic password hashes on a silver platter. Astonishingly, web browsers like Google Chrome intentionally trigger this vulnerability. On startup, Chrome attempts to resolve randomized, non-existent hostnames to test if the local network is hijacking DNS. This test routinely fires off multicast queries, exposing your machine to local attackers. Here is the most critical takeaway of this video, and the part most commercial VPN advertisements will never tell you. A VPN does not make your device invisible or bulletproof. A VPN operates at layer 3 to encrypt your IP traffic, but your device is still physically connected to a shared local network. You still have a local IP address and a physical MAC address on that subnet. Because of this physical relationship, a VPN cannot protect you from active host scanning. An attacker on the same network can port scan your device, fingerprint your operating system, and search for unpatched software vulnerabilities. Direct local link exploitation. If you are running an outdated network driver or an unpatched OS service, an attacker can launch an exploit across the local network to compromise your machine. Insecure sharing configurations. If you have Apple AirDrop, SMB file sharing, or network printing set to discoverable, anyone on that network can attempt to access your shared directories or push malicious files directly to you. Turning on a VPN in a coffee shop is like locking the doors to your safe while leaving the front door of your house wide open. If public Wi-Fi is full of metadata leaks and VPNs can't protect you from local link layer attacks, what is the solution? The absolute safest way to connect to the internet on the go is to bypass public Wi-Fi entirely and use a personal cellular hotspot. By routing your traffic through a personal 4G LTE or 5G hotspot, you achieve what security architects call cellular isolation. Carrier-grade encryption. Cellular networks use advanced, mutually authenticated encryption that is structurally immune to the common rogue access point, evil twin, attacks that plague Wi-Fi. Micro-segmented domain. A personal hotspot establishes a private broadcast domain controlled exclusively by you. Because there are no other unauthenticated peers sharing your subnet, local port scanning, ARP spoofing, and multicast poisoning attacks are completely neutralized. So, where does that leave us? Let's lay out a clear, practical decision-making framework for whenever you work in public. For high-security/sensitive work, such as online banking, corporate access, proprietary data, use a personal cellular hotspot. This provides complete physical and logical isolation from local network attackers. For standard browsing/travel, when public Wi-Fi is unavoidable, use public Wi-Fi with a hardened VPN. This prevents local metadata harvesting, secures background app telemetry, and mitigates local cache DNS poisoning. For casual browsing, such as checking the news, streaming video, use standard Wi-Fi without a VPN. Modern HTTPS automatically protects your login credentials and data payload. If you have to use public Wi-Fi and choose to use a VPN, don't rely on default settings. Ensure your setup meets modern institutional standards. Disable custom SSL/TLS fallback tunnels. Force your client to use standards-based protocols like WireGuard or Internet Key Exchange version 2 and IPsec. Turn on a kill switch. If your VPN connection drops for a split second, a kill switch blocks all traffic immediately, preventing plaintext data leaks. Configure your OS firewall. Always set your network profile to public network. This blocks unsolicited incoming connections and disables network discovery. Disable legacy name protocols. Turn off LLMNR and NetBIOS on your Windows machine to prevent multicast poisoning. The next time you open your laptop at your favorite coffee shop, ask yourself, is saving a bit of cellular data worth exposing your device to the local broadcast domain, or is it time to turn on that personal hotspot? What's your go-to setup when working remotely? Let us know in the comments below.